Hey, babe. I'm having a weird day. It's not really been that great. I guess it started. Okay, yesterday morning, I got up really early. I went to bed at 4. I got up at 7:30. Because I just couldn't sleep anymore. It was hot, it was comfortable. No, manic depression reasons. Sometimes happens to me, but the night before, we'd been talking about the Brian Adams song, Summer '69, which in the past, Paul may have covered some years ago. And we were talking about how Ryan Adams has a tantrum every time anyone calls out for him to play the song. And then we talked about how the 80s version is so overproduced, but if you stripped it down, it's very poignant. And then we found a live version on Apple Music, and Paul loved it. It was just guitar and piano. His voice, it was just good. It sounded really nice. And Paul's like, that's exactly how I would do it. So that was at night, and then yesterday morning, I woke up and I felt like just scratched almost. I don't know if that's what it's called, but I went to my computer and I made 2 tracks of me singing it just straight through. Recently Paul said my voice is better, getting better. And they sound, each track sounds alright. The one is like a little higher and delicate, and the other one's a little more throaty. So this is like early in the morning, I'm like, I can't wait later to record this with Paul. I hope that he wants to. I go to therapy at 11. I go to therapy and tell her this. She's like, I had no idea you were into music, blah, blah, blah. And she's really positive. We talked about me doing music, and she knew somewhat about Paul. And anyway, I was really pumped. Maybe I was a little manic because I was on so little sleep and I had so much energy. And I never could really nap all day. And I didn't have strong caffeine, did I? No. So, I don't know, sometimes it just happens. I think it's considered alarming if it happens a few days in a row. I'm sure it didn't happen today. So last night, or afternoon, I talked to Paul about all this. Can you do it? And he was like, oh, maybe you'll see, non-committal. And then all of a sudden at 11 o'clock at night, I hear him and we talked about whether to put his guitar into my computer and I would sing along, or should we he has this new digital 4-track, should we use that? Then I can go into the computer with a zip. So I thought, let's use the new 4-track, how fun. A couple of weeks ago, did a cover of the last song, There She Goes, and that came out nicely, of us both singing. So, although he mixed his voice a lot louder, I know that I sound okay. I kind of wish he hadn't. Anyway, he's kind of screechy, but anyway, he decides he's gonna play guitar live, and I will sing to that, and then we decide, and then he will play piano, own track, and then sing along to that. So I did 2 singing things that I didn't even listen to. I was just like, deaf girl. I just knew it was bad. And then I was like, I'm willing to do a 3rd one. It was late. Now it was 11, after 11. And I was like, I will do 1 more singing track, and then I am done for the night. And it felt better, and it felt like I was in a groove with Paul, and I go back and listen to it, and it's not the shittiest, worst singing I've ever done, but you know that part he's like, and that's where I met you, yeah, or that's where I met you, standing on your mama's porch. Okay. When I go, and that's when I met you, or however it should go, I go, and that's when I met you. like ridiculous sounding, like I'm flying. And but other than that, that is really gets to me. There weren't any hugely sour notes. Just kind of like my voice was all over the place. Like it just doesn't sound that good. And he was like, "Oh, it's pretty good." And I was like, So I felt really depressed because it's like there's no comparison. Come on, his guitar playing was great, it's beautiful. His piano sounded really nice. It was more simple. It sounded great. And then his singing was beautiful. And he was annoyed because his first take with the singing, he fucked up a line or something, and he was really annoyed. So he had it, and he was like, "I'm a one-take guy. Like, it pisses me off when I have to do something twice." And I was like, "I'm 1,000 million billion take girl, like with my computer and my singing." Like, anyway. So he's irritated because he didn't get it in one take. And like, you're listening to it, I'm listening to it, I'm like, he sounds beautiful. And I just mix it with my voice down as low as it would possibly go, and like everything jacked up. You could still hear me, and I was mad. So it was late, I was tired, so I was like, I kept saying, I was like, I did 2 tracks on my computer, and they're okay, they're good. Like, I wouldn't have any shame to play it for anybody. Like, you know, they're not incredibly great, but there's nothing embarrassing. There's no mistakes. It's just nice. They sound nice. And why couldn't I get it to sound nice? Like, why did I have so little control? And he's like, well, it's hard, like, you got the mic, and like, it's hard to control like how loud and soft you are, and it picks up every little nuance, and trying to keep up with me and the guitar, like playing. But the thing is, the mic was set up in my computer. I used the mic yesterday morning, so like that didn't really work for me. But I do get like trying to, I don't know, we did that with the Laws song, and it sounds really nice. I don't know. That's the thing, is that sometimes I sound good, and sometimes I'm like terrible, and maybe I'm not the best judge. My ears judge. I know when it sounds bad. So I feel such envy for him. Such envy. Like, he just has this beautiful talent, and you know, he has such a range. Like, it ranges in like humorous to emotional and poignant to like rockin'. Like, he could just, like, he does so much. He can do so much. And he considers himself a mediocre musician because he doesn't have the staying power, LOL, of other musicians he knows. Like, he can't play as long as other people he knows at drums or guitar, although his piano playing is fabulous. I think he always sounds fabulous when he plays instruments, and sometimes I don't like the way he sings. And he was saying that last night. He was like, sometimes you hate my voice. And I'm like, yeah, but it'll be like a deliberate choice that you made that I don't like. It's not because your voice flew out of control. And now today's weird. I slept at 12:45. They slept an hour later. I don't know. Nothing was that bad. But like, after we ate lunch, brunch, breakfast, I came out here. Oh, it's a big ass mosquito. Get the fuck away from me. Time to get my napalm or whatever. So, a few hours ago, I came out here and to do my phone, yet feel like I was outside. And before I went out, Paul's like, oh, we're gonna go out in the back. And I was like, okay. I think I'm gonna go out in the front because it seems a little sunnier. The backyard seems shadier. And I'm here for a while, like Data Lounge, Instagram, YouTube, da da da. And Poppy comes out to give me a cherry. We're growing cherry tomatoes, and then Paul comes out, and he's like, I found that the patio moss can be like dug out pretty easily with a scraper. We agreed not that long ago to hire landscapers to fix it all up, but lately, like yesterday, he was doing all this weeding, and he's talking about the moss, and I was like, yesterday I was like, well, I guess it makes sense to do what you can and minimize what you have to pay for later. But I also had this feeling like that he was copping out on paying for landscapers, that he could do it all himself. And I kind of, I was like, I wasn't immediately like, cool, let's scrape it on the moss. I was like, are we still doing landscapers? And he just kind of was silent. And I was like, I know you got a lot done yesterday, but there's still so much more in the backyard, the pig, the chicken yard, like, and I was like, he's like, I can do it. He's like, I got a lot done here yesterday in the front, but he did. I can see the difference, but there's still so much more. I said that, and I was like, we're just back and forth on this, and I was like, you know, I was like, you get the front yard looking good, and then the backyard is like Stephen King, you know, from that movie, like where it's just overgrown. I was like, it'll be really hard to keep up with one person. He's like, I just need 2 days. I was like, this is more than 2 days, and even if you had 2 days, it wouldn't be 2 days in a row, so shit would keep growing, and weather, you know what the weather's gonna do, and if you have a migraine, or if I'm having a bad day, things come to a halt. I was like, and he's like, I don't want to take money out for this, and I was like, we are getting money somehow, some way, like your mother or a loan. I was like, you know, we talked about this, like, even if we didn't do the landscaping, we need money for a lot of things to get this house going and to get across the country. And he's like, yeah, you're right. So he didn't seem defeated. He seemed like we were just conversing and going over, we talked about realtors, we talked about a whole bunch of selling the house things, and then we go inside and sit down, and there was quiet. So I kind of, stupid of me, one of the things I've been reading and watching videos about was the pedophiliac imagery that scared me, of Shirley Temple movies, and how someone keeps whistling and I can't see them, how they're in Nabokov's Lolita, what is that? You're scaring me. It's okay. Nabokov, Lolita, he borrows scenes somewhat ironically, but yet not ironically, from Shirley Temple films. So I was watching this YouTube video. It wasn't cheesy. It was like serious. It was like BBC, and so there's just silence in the living room, and this is like really in my mind, like so fascinating. And he doesn't, but I know we recently talked about Nabokov and Lolita, and he'd like never even heard of them. So the other day it explains, so I thought, well, maybe he might be interested in this. So I'm like, hey, I watched this cool video. I'm going to do a second video on this because it's 14:07. I was like, I watched this really interesting video about creepy Shirley Temple things. I know you like Shirley Temple. And the Lolita, the novel. I'm going to stop right now and start another one. Bye-bye.